Hola y bienvenidos a la unidad 12R, lección 3B, ser y las características inherentes. Necesitas tu paquete de nivel 2 y 3, fichas y algo con que escribir. Como siempre, es una actividad de pareja opcional. Our learning targets. I can conjugate the verb ser in the present tense. I can recall the most common adjectives of inherent characteristics to describe a person's physical and personality traits. El verbo de hoy es describir, to describe. Y la cita dice, las fortalezas están en nuestras diferencias, no en nuestras similitudes. Strength is in our differences, not in our similarities. All right, a reminder, all resources that you're using today can be found in the Spanish Student Virtual Resource Binder if you are at home and don't have your packet. Today we will be working on the verb ser and some worksheets that are in this packet linked here. So you'll go down to the verbs and find ser in a star, and that is the handout that you would need. Okay, so just to recap, we have been through 4 of the 5 verbs already that make up the English verb to be. We've seen haber, we've seen tener, we've seen hacer, and we've seen estar. Now we've got the verb ser, which is the big one. Es el grande. So ser is used to talk about like a whole bunch of things. Inherent characteristics is what we're going to be focusing on for today. In upcoming lessons, we will get the rest of this list. Okay, the verb ser also means to be, right? So can be very confusing that we have the verb haber, which means to have, but it can be used to mean to be. We have the verb tener, which means also to have, but it can mean to be with those special expressions and when we're talking about age. We have the verb hacer, which means to make or do, which but it's used as to be when we're talking about the weather. Then we have the verb estar, which actually means to be, and we have now the verb ser, which also actually means to be, right? So can be a very confusing at the beginning, which is why we take the time to put this in a separate unit. You just have to memorize which verb goes with which thing that we're trying to express. Today, we are going to be talking about how ser is used to work with inherent characteristics. Just like with the verb estar, the first thing you're going to have to do is to memorize the conjugations. Yo soy, I am. Tú eres, you are. Él es, he is. Ella es, she is. Usted es, you formal are. Nosotros somos, we are. Vosotros sois, you all are. Ellos son, they are. Ellas son, they, them girls are. Ustedes son, you all are. So I would recommend pause the video at this point, make a flashcard. On one side, put the verb ser, on the other side, the conjugations, and keep practicing until you know them forwards and backwards. All right, inherent characteristics. For example, soy alto, blanco y amable. I am tall, white, and likable. Tú eres bajo, negro y simpático. You are short, black, and nice. In your packets, you have another list of adjectives. So we had a list of adjectives that go with the verb estar to talk about our feelings. Now we have a list of adjectives to talk about what we are like. ¿Cómo es usted? ¿Cómo eres? What are you like? What are your inherent characteristics? For this list, I did not highlight. You kind of need to know all of these. These are all common adjectives that we would use every day. Notice again that we have a masculine form of most of these ending in O, and we can change that to a feminine form with the letter A. So we've got alto, tall, for a tall male, alta, tall female, amable, kind, antipático, not nice, mean, unpleasant, artístico, artistic, bajo, short, bonito, pretty. That word can be used for male and female. Bonito, you're like, it's another way to say handsome. Bueno, good or kind. Cortés, polite. Creative, creativo, creative. Delgado, slim or thin. Descortés, impolite or rude. Egoísta, selfish. Feo, ugly. Gordo, fat. Hermoso, beautiful. So again, this is one that could be male or female, interchangeable with bonito. Oops. Insociable, unsociable. Inteligente, intelligent. Joven, young. Malo, bad. Moreno, brunette or dark. Pequeño, small. Pobre, poor. Rico, rich. Rubio, blonde. Sensible, sensitive. Simpático, nice. Sociable, sociable. Tacaño, stingy or mean. Trabajador, hardworking. Viejo, old. So I would pause the video at this point and make flashcards for any of these that you don't already know. When you're ready, come back. Okay, so what is an inherent characteristic? The list of items that we had on our handout are inherent characteristics. They're traits that are generally not changeable. They're part of someone's physical or personality description. Yo soy alto, right? So I could get in a horrible accident and lose my legs, and then I wouldn't be tall anymore. But generally, a tall person is a tall person. It's not going to change. Tú eres inteligente. You are intelligent, right? So, again, that is an inherent characteristics. It's part of our personality, part of our description. Maria es amable. Maria is nice. She's lovable. She's kind. Nosotros somos morenos. We are dark-skinned or dark-haired. Ustedes son sociables. You are sociable. Personality traits. So I try not to think about permanent. We don't want to say permanent because everything could be changed, but we want to think of inherent traits as part of someone's physical description or personality description. All right, we need to remember again our friend concordancia, agreement. Our nouns and adjectives must match for both gender, masculine and feminine, and number, singular and plural. So the adjectives on the list that had a masculine form ending in O, we have to change them to a if we're applying them to somebody who identifies as female. And then we need to add s if it is plural. So for example, Mr. Flack es hermoso. Mr. Flack is handsome. Miss Puentes es hermosa. So she identifies as female. We needed to change hermoso to hermosa. Los estudiantes son hermosos. So we have a group of students, plural. There's at least one male in the group, so it defaults to masculine. And we add the S for plural. And las chicas, so that would be a group of all females, son hermosas. So we need the feminine form of the adjective with the a, and we also need the plural form with the S on the end, hermosas. Let's do a little practice. So you're going to pause the video here. In your notebook, you're going to translate the following sentences to Spanish using the verb ser and the correct form of the adjective. All of these are on your list, so you've got them there to help you. When you're finished, press play again and check your answers. Okay, so let's check your answers. Be sure to pay close attention to the concordancia, the agreement of the adjective. I am old. Yo soy viejo. Or if you identify as female, you would write yo soy vieja. You, informal, are smart. Tú eres inteligente. Inteligente is a neutral, so it could apply to male or female. He is short. Él es bajo. So we've got él, masculine form of the adjective bajo. She is tall. Ella es alta. So we need alta, the feminine form of tall. You, formal, are sensitive. Usted es sensible. This is another adjective that is neutral. It can apply male or female. We are creative. Nosotros somos creativos. So at least one male in the group. Plural because it's more than one person. Creativos. The students are artistic. Los estudiantes son artísticos. So again, we have plural. We need the S on the end, artísticos. The girls are nice. So now we have all feminine and plural. So we need las chicas son simpáticas. We needed the feminine form and the plural form. All right, hopefully you did well on that. We've got some more practice for you here. So now going back to your packet, after your handout here, we have 2 pages of practice. Here's the first one, looks just like on the screen. It says practice using ser. You're going to fill in the blank with the correct form of ser and translate the sentence to English. When you're finished, you're going to check your answers with the master, with Mr. Flack. So after you do both sides. So I've done the first one for you. Nosotros blank de los Estados Unidos. So nosotros, the conjugation is somos. Nosotros somos de los Estados Unidos. That translates as we are from the United States. The second side, second page, is a little trickier. You're given 2 pairs of words, or you're given a pair of words here. The first one is the noun, el escritorio, the desk. And then you're given an adjective, viejo. Your job is to put those 2 things together using the verb ser to make a complete sentence. El escritorio es viejo. The desk is old. So you're going to make a complete sentence using the subject, adjective, and correct form of the verb. And then I want you to translate the sentence to English. You might need to look up some of the vocabulary, and that is okay. When you're done, both with this worksheet and this worksheet, come find me and get the master copy to check your work. As always, make sure you made flashcards of the vocabulary that you don't already know, and then use those flashcards to practice and memorize your vocabulary. Good job. We'll see you on the next lesson.